A water release that led to algae blooms north of us a year ago is happening again. This was in Manatee County. A leak 16 months ago at the Piney Point phosphate plant forced crews to release millions of gallons of toxic water into Tampa Bay that would eventually flow into the Gulf of Mexico. Fox 4 meteorologist Andrew Shipley looks at this release and also how it compares to algae bloom concerns right here in Southwest Florida.
This week, 4 million gallons of rainwater will get released into Tampa Bay at Piney Point, a step officials say is being done to help close the phosphate plant. Florida Department of Environmental Protection as well as independent labs say this is just rainwater and not the toxic water from last year. But Dr. James Douglas with FGCU says it's not a guarantee that it won't cause another algae bloom or red tide event, especially when nutrients get injected into the system.
So it's always kind of a roll of the dice. You don't know exactly what kind of algae is going to come out when you inject nutrients into the water, but it's going to be something. And it's going to be ugly.
Douglas says the water release in April of 2021 was full of nutrients that felt algae already in Tampa Bay.
So when they release it into the bay, it's like injecting a lot of fertilizer into the bay. So whatever algae is in the bay, it's going to go crazy when it gets a lot of these extra nutrients.
Douglas compared what happened there last year to Lake Okeechobee water releases that we've seen flow into the Caloosahatchee River. But he says what happened at Piney Point was even worse.
It's much richer in fertilizer, even more so than the Lake Okeechobee water. So it's not as huge amount of water as comes from Lake Okeechobee, but it's really concentrated in pollution. And so even a little bit of that water is bad news for Tampa Bay.
Dr. Douglas says we should use Piney Point as an example of what we don't want to happen here in Southwest Florida. He adds that there are polluted local lakes here, and we should look into ways to make sure that that pollution doesn't get into our water system.
Means taking a look at the ponds and other storage waters around here in Southwest Florida and trying to clean up the pollution in them before a big rain event or hurricane comes and causes that to rush into our coastal waters.
As of now, the Piney Point plant is expected to be fully closed in December of 2024. In Cape Coral, meteorologist Andrew Shipley, Fox 4.